It's getting close to the end of the year, but it's also the beginning of a new era, right? The chance to start over, think again, and change the course of your life. If you want to get ahead in life, I've always said that your thoughts matter more than your emotions. But the ideas you've chosen to follow are to the letter. How often do we carry the same habits with us through days, weeks, or even years? The same reasons and thoughts that have held us back. What if you altered your plan for this year? You see, every effective change starts with a decision to think differently. To live a bold life and act on purpose was a success in the end. Do not come to you because of what you do, but because of who you are. The wonderful thing about life is that we get to write our own stories. We can choose to make this the year we get stronger, more focused, and more motivated to see what's possible. Wishing for change doesn't make it happen, though. You need a set of rules, a destination plan and regular steps to stay on track. That's where these 10 rules come into play. They're not just thoughts or hopes. These are items that you can utilize immediately. Change your entire life, not just this year. Are you ready to hear and follow the rules? Rule number 1. Nothing works until you work it. Here is where it all starts. Take full responsibility for your life. Being responsible is the key to living a positive life. It's where every success and change begins. Tell me who makes the choices in your life. Now you might want to blame the market, the government, or your upbringing. It's easy to blame someone or something else. But here's the truth. Nothing will change until you take full responsibility. To be responsible, you have to know that you are the only one who can change your path. Even if your mistakes weren't your fault, forgive yourself. You have power when you own up to your mistakes. If someone or something else caused your problem, they have power, not you. You take charge of your life again when you say, "It's up to me." A man I met years ago was having a difficult time with money. I asked him why he wasn't getting ahead. His boss didn't approve of him, and his field was challenging. He didn't come from money, so he had all sorts of reasons, but I just asked him one easy question. "What are you going to do about it?" He looked at me like I was crazy. I asked what steps you were taking to improve your skills so you could add value and create jobs for yourself. That talk changed his whole life. He learned that waiting for someone else to fix things wasn't going to work. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen instead. You start making things happen, and here's the secret. Taking on duty gives you power. Stop focusing on who is to blame and start working on answers. Being responsible isn't always easy, and it takes being honest. When you take a good look at yourself in the mirror, you see where you failed and let yourself down. Although it's challenging, we must complete it. When you take control of your life, you become the owner of your possibilities. What can I do if I put my heart into it? You start to ask the question. Put some thought and work into it. Here's the challenge. From now on, don't make excuses and don't put the blame on outside factors, other people, or even bad luck. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do? What is actually in my power? How can I move forward? What you do starts change, not what others do. Remember that you can't change everything, but you can choose how you react. Your actions determine the outcome. Take full responsibility. You'll be shocked at how much power you really have. Rule number 2, make goals that are clear and write them down. If duty is the base, then goals are the way to get there. A guide shows you the way, helps you deal with problems, and keeps you from wandering aimlessly through life. If you don't have clear goals, you'll just drift along, hoping for the best. Hope is important, but it doesn't change things. Clarity and action do. Don't think about what you can get. Think about what you want. It's important to prioritize your own desires over those of others. The clearer your wants are, the better. The more focused you are, the more power you have, because you can't miss. I learned a simple but important fact years ago that you can't see. When you write down your goals, it's like planting a seed in your thoughts. It goes from being a thought to a real promise. Now it's more than just a thought. It's a statement. What comes next? As soon as you think about it, you start to see chances, answers and tools that will help you reach your goal. I met a young man at a meeting. He was eager to move forward but didn't know what to do. When I asked him if he had written down his goals, he said, "No, I just think about them." He had to write down 5 goals he wanted to reach in the next year on a piece of paper. Goal. Initially, he was uncertain, but he persevered. A year later, he came back to me with tears in his eyes. He had reached 4 of his 5 goals because he wrote them down. Made him pay attention and act. But here's the thing. Goals won't change your life by themselves. What can you do today to help you reach your goals this week? Write them down and make a plan. Use this month to move closer to your goal. Regularity always outperforms intensity. Over time, small steps forward every day add up to big changes. Don't just write down your goals and forget about them. Look at them often. Keep them close and read them every day. See them and tell yourself why they're important. This will keep you motivated. Keep your work in sync and don't be afraid to dream big. Make goals that will motivate, push, and maybe even scare you. The purpose of a goal isn't merely to attain it. It's to transform into a person capable of achieving it. You say, "This is who I want to be. This is the life I want to live," when you set a goal. Spend some time writing down your goals today. Don't wait for the right time. Start now. Remember that clarity leads to momentum, and momentum is what makes the idea come true. Rule number 3. Make discipline your best friend. If your goals are the roadmap, then focus is what moves you forward. When you don't follow through, even the best plans and goals fall apart. By practicing discipline, you can achieve your goals. It means being able to keep going with a task even when it gets boring, when problems appear, or when progress seems to be moving too slowly. Some people think that discipline means limiting or not having something, but that's not really the case. Free will means being able to live the life you really want. Saying "I" instead of allowing bad habits or fleeting emotions to control you is the key. Long-term gains are more important to me than short-term pleasure. How often do you let your emotions control what you do? Today, I don't want to work out. Feelings like, "I don't want to work on that project," aren't always accurate, are they? They come and go, but discipline tells me to keep my promises. I heard a story about a young player that didn't involve meshed woke up at 5 a.m. every day to train in case he won the Olympics. When asked what keeps him going, he said, "Rain or shine." Discipline is what keeps you going after inspiration. You must exercise discipline to complete tasks even when you don't want to. Discipline is not something that people are born with. It's something that people learn. You get better at it by making small choices over and over again. The best way to become more disciplined is to establish small, manageable habits. It's not a beneficial idea to try to change everything at once. Pick a skill you want to improve and practice daily. Here's the secret. Every time you keep a promise, no matter how small, you get stronger in your practice. You trust yourself more, which makes you feel more confident. But if you break a promise to yourself, that muscle gets weaker. So make sure you can keep your promises. It is better to start small and do well. Rather than setting unrealistic goals and giving up, discipline also requires a compelling why. What are you doing and why? What's the real reason behind your goals? When you connect your actions to a meaningful cause, they become more meaningful. Our discussion of challenges makes it easier for you to stay on track. You can still make mistakes occasionally, but discipline prevents it from happening again. Get back on track, forgive yourself, and learn from what you did. Remember that discipline isn't a penalty. It's a way to help people get better, not perfect. It's a present you give yourself, and it's how you reach your goals. Decide today to make discipline your friend if you want to live a life with meaning and satisfaction. Watch how your life changes as you start small and stick with it. Number 4, spend time with the right people. You can't be successful by yourself. You need to be around successful people. Can change your life by inspiring and pushing you to try your best. They have the power to hinder you, bring you down, and deplete your strength. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? You're becoming more like them, whether you know it or not. When someone is focused, driven, and positive, it shows in their habits and beliefs. If these are negative traits, such as being lazy or sluggish, you're likely to adopt them as well. That impact will also find its way into your life. If you want to change your life, Mr. Sheaf used to say, change the people you hang out with. I didn't understand what he meant at first, but now that I look around, I see what he meant. I noticed something. I was spending time with people who made me feel good, people who were average, made excuses, and didn't want to grow. That was what was stopping me. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't cut off everyone in your life, but you should be selective about who receives your time and energy. Your list should include people who inspire you to think big and do better. These are the people who will push you to improve, not just settle. It was challenging for a young business owner I worked with to take his company to the next level. I found out that his friends were telling him that his ideas were too dangerous, which made me sad. He was around shallow people, which made him feel less confident. I told him to find a new group of mentors, peers, and other business owners who shared his goal, and saw his promise. In just 1 year, his business experienced significant growth. He hung out with people who made him feel good instead of people who made him feel bad. Now, let's talk about the types of people you should look for as teachers. There are individuals who have already excelled and attained the desired level of success. Take what they've learned from their mistakes and follow it. Second, find people who share your goals. It's powerful to grow with others. Third, look for people who will make you think about your ideas. You need people who will push you, not just agreeable people. It's important to view things from different perspectives, but we must also remember the opposing viewpoint. Sometimes you need to stay away from people who are detrimental for you. These are the people who always complain, criticize, or put you down. It can be challenging, particularly if these individuals are close family or friends. But remember that your surroundings shape your future, so keep your mind safe by limiting the number of bad things you see and hear. Be the kind of person that others want to be with, and make your connections more valuable. Relationships work both ways, right? So help, encourage, and boost the people in your circle. When you put in your best effort, the best individuals gravitate towards you. So take a moment to observe your team. Who helps you grow and who holds you back? If they're preventing you from achieving success, you need to make changes. It's not just about what you do. Rule number 5. It's about who you do it with. Learn how to be consistent. Being consistent may not sound exciting, but it's the secret to success. Small actions repeated daily can have significant effects. When you really think about it, one workout or nutritious meal won't change your body. But what happens when you do it every day for weeks, months, or even years? There lies the magic. My friends, success is more about frequency than hard work. Too often, people get excited at first, but then their drive wanes. They work out for 2 weeks and then stop. They set goals for a month and then stop. They want results right away, but the truth is that beneficial things take time. Regularity is the link between work and results. I remember a story about a man who wanted to cut down a huge oak tree. Every day, he took his axe and hit it 5 times. It looked like nothing was happening at first, just 5 swings, no more, no less. But all of those swings added up over time, and the great oak finally fell. Not because of one strong move, but because of hard work over time. In every part of your life, the same rule applies. Want to get rich? Regularly save money and spend it. Want to get healthier? If you want to improve your skills, you should always work out and eat right. Being present when it's not convenient is more important than perfection. How do you stay consistent even when you don't want to? Don't try to change everything at once. Start small. Pick one habit you want to work on and do it. Keep it simple and straightforward to handle. Second, make a plan. Habits like structure. Set a time, place, and way to do the task, and then do it. Third, keep track of your progress. Seeing your streak grow is very motivating. It gives you the drive to keep going. Small wins are what keep you moving forward. But here's the thing. There will be days when life gets in the way or progress seems slow. That's when being consistent is most important. It's better to do something than nothing, even if you can't do it correctly. Still do it. Consistency is about making progress, not being perfect. The excellent thing about constancy is that it builds over time. Like interest that builds over time in a bank account, the little things you do today will add up to something big tomorrow. You'll see how far you've come when you look back. So promise yourself that you will reach your goals and follow your dreams. Choose to show up every day, no matter what. Performing an action just once isn't sufficient for success. You need to repeat it numerous times. Rule number 6. Learn how to use your time well. Though money can be replaced, time is the most valuable asset, or skills you can learn over time, because once a moment is over, it's over for good. Think about it. The way you use your time affects the kind of life you live. Are you putting your time to work or spending it? Are you building? Consider how to solve problems and to have hope and optimism about life, because when your mood is right. Rule number 8. Commit to learning new things all your life. Change is the only thing that stays the same in life. The world is always changing, and people who keep learning are the ones who do well. Making the choice to keep learning is like honing an axe. It makes sure you're always ready to face life's obstacles and take advantage of its chances. Now, learning doesn't end when you leave school. It just starts. Going to school can make you money, but self-learning can make you rich. The most important thing is what you learn after you think you know everything. Always put in more work on yourself than on your job, Mr. Sheaf said. I didn't understand what he meant at first, but then he told me that if you get better, When you learn new things and improve yourself, you become more useful to your company. Are you investing money in your mind, your connections, and your future? Are you reading books, going to workshops, listening to podcasts, and looking for mentors? It's a fact that acquiring knowledge leads to earning more than just money. However, knowledge presents opportunities and brings satisfaction. The man's work was progressing smoothly until it encountered an obstacle. He felt stuck and couldn't figure out why. When I inquired about his learning process, he replied, "Okay, I guess I haven't been learning much lately." That was the issue. He had stopped growing, which led to his success. His job took off again after he promised to read a book every month, go to workshops, and learn new skills. The excellent thing about learning is that it builds on what you already know. This builds on what you learned yesterday and leads to exponential growth over time. But I want to stress this. Don't just learn for the sake of learning. Use what you learn. If you don't use what you know, it doesn't help you. How are you going to commit to constant learning? Create a daily routine and don't just practice job skills. It's also important to learn about health and exercise for personal growth, relationships, emotional intelligence, and money knowledge. The more things you know, the better prepared you'll be for life's difficulties. Here's another tip. Learn from other people. Spend time with people who are smarter, older, or have more experience than you. Be willing to ask questions, pay close attention, and give feedback. It takes humility to realize that everyone you meet knows something you don't. Understanding your limitations and being prepared to begin again are crucial aspects of this process. Don't let your pride stop you from going to new places or saying you don't know something. And don't forget that things change faster than ever. New technologies, businesses, and chances appear all the time. Unless you learn, you'll fall behind. If you do, you'll advance. You set yourself up to do well anywhere. So here's the challenge. Make learning new things a daily habit. And your skills every day, because you get better as you learn. Rule number 9. You can do more as you get better. Accept and be open to change. When you think you know what's going on in life, the seasons change, the winds blow, and the scenery changes. You encounter fresh challenges or opportunities. That's why being able to change is so important. Being able to accept change instead of fighting it can mean the difference between progress and stagnation. When change comes, how do you handle it? Do you fight it or fear it? Do you strive to avoid it? Or do you lean into it with courage and interest? The truth is that things will always change. You don't have to grow, though. Many individuals I know resist change and cling to their familiarity, even when it's not helping them anymore. But the funny thing is that life only changes. When you embrace and adapt to change, resisting it only prolongs the conflict. I know that change can be scary, so you set yourself up to succeed. You must leave your comfort zone and enter the unknown, but pain is where growth happens. When you're not sure what will happen, you find new skills, ideas, and opportunities. Focusing on what you can change is the key to being open to it. You can change your feelings about life's events, but not always. How do you think and act? What's the chance here? How can I grow through this? Flexibility is another important part of being adaptable. Life rarely goes as planned. It's acceptable to adjust your strategy without abandoning your objectives. Is what keeps you going. Picture a tree in a storm. Not stiff trees survive, but those that bend with the wind. Mr. Rome, how do you become more adaptable? Start by being curious. Instead of fearing change, be curious, ask questions, and imagine its possibilities. Second, build resilience. Be open to new ideas and ways of thought. Being resilient means being able to get back up after a loss. It means not seeing failure as the end, but to get to the future you want. Or are you being careless and letting it go? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What makes the people who reach their goals different? It's not about having more time for those who don't. In addition to being busy, time management involves making the most of their time. It's about getting things done and focusing on what really counts. Schedule your goals instead of your schedule. This means you should figure out what's most important to you. Build your day around those things. Too often people waste their time on things that don't matter. By saying yes to everything, they lose track of time and their most important goals by the end of the day. Early on, I learned that clarity is key to time management. You need to identify the 2 or 3 things that are most important. If you practice this every day, it will bring about the biggest change in your life. Give it your full attention and energy when you're at your best, no matter what it is. What are some actions you can take? First, plan your day the night before. Write down your most important things to do the next day when you wake up for 10 to 15 minutes. It won't take long to decide because you know what you want. Second, utilize time blocks to allocate specific periods of time for specific tasks. During those times, don't let anything else come up and focus on the job at hand. Fully focused, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. Third, learn to say no whenever you agree to do something that isn't important to you. It's acceptable to decline offers or requests if it doesn't align with your values. That don't help you reach your goals. Time is the most important thing you have, so guard it. Do not forget to take care of yourself. Rest, relaxing, and renewal are not extras. They're necessary if you want to use your time well. Planning and protecting downtime is crucial when you're exhausted. As you guard your work time, think about how you spend your free time. Time is a gift. Use it carefully. Are you putting it toward what matters or letting it slip away? Seventh rule, keep a positive outlook. How you feel about something is one of the most important things you can change. How you handle challenges ultimately determines the quality of your life. The truth is that you can't change everything that happens to you. You can choose how to react at any time. That reaction begins with your feelings. Think about this. If 2 people think differently about the same situation, their reactions can differ. One person sees problems as barriers, while the other sees them as chances to learn and grow. The difference is not in the facts, but in how you see them. I think I heard that a shoe company sent 2 salespeople to a small town in the middle of nowhere. One of them came back, so it's useless because no one here wears shoes. The other person said it was a great chance, since no one here wears shoes. There were 2 distinct approaches to the identical issue. Which one do you think worked best? Your mood determines your height. A positive attitude doesn't always lead to success, but a negative attitude almost always does. Negativity takes your energy, because it keeps you from seeing the beneficial things that could happen and draws more bad things for you. On the other hand, a positive mood makes you stronger. Having a positive mood does not equate to being creative and determined. It means choosing to focus on answers instead of ignoring reality or acting like everything is fine. It means seeing problems as chances to learn, not as limits. It means finding the lesson in every task. Every difficult situation has a positive aspect, so begin and conclude each day with gratitude. Stop and think about what's positive in your life. What are you grateful for? Being thankful changes your attention from what you don't have to what you do have plenty of. When you're thankful, it's difficult to be negative. Protecting your mind from negative thoughts is another strong habit. Be careful about the media you watch, talks and thoughts if you think negatively. That's what it will do. But if you fill it with good things, there are books filled with encouraging stories and mantras that will make you feel better. You'll learn to think in terms of possibilities and hope. But don't forget that keeping a positive mood takes work, especially when things are bad. Being positive is simple when things are going well, but being positive is what leads to real growth. When things go wrong, know that storms don't last forever. Once the sun comes out, how you handle the storm depends on how you feel. Another important thing is that your mood spreads. When you keep an upbeat attitude, you motivate and encourage the people around you. People look to you for support and power, and that has a spreading effect. You'll help each other succeed if you hang out with people who have the same positive energy. So choose today to be in a good mood, focus on the positive, and, they want to be third, stay aggressive. The stronger you are, the more flexible you can be. Don't wait for change to happen to you. Plan for it. Monitor the current trends in your field. Prepare yourself for the upcoming events in your neighborhood or life. Being proactive ensures that you remain prepared and ready to take action. Not everything we fear makes us grow. What if that sudden change in careers leads you to your dream job? But what if that painful breakup leads to a better relationship? What if that loss led to your biggest win? Don't be afraid of change. Accept it and see it as a guide, a master, and a chance to grow. When you adapt, you not only survive, but thrive. Rule 10. Be thankful every day. Being thankful is the key to a joyful life. We view the beauty, blessings, and opportunities that surround us through this window. We often miss it because we're preoccupied with what we lack, what doesn't work, and what we'd like to see different. Being thankful changes our minds and helps us remember the positive things in our lives. It is important to reflect on our blessings and all the things we have to be grateful for. When was the last time you really took a moment to enjoy what you have? Not just the big things, but also the little ones. The sun's warmth, a stranger's kindness, and the simple pleasure of a good meal are things that make every day great. Being thankful doesn't mean waiting for everything to be perfect for happiness. It means choosing to be happy right now. I remember hearing a story about a man who had every reason to be upset. He had lost his job and was having health problems, and was having a rough time, but every morning he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for. At first, it was tough. He struggled to locate a single item, but as he continued to practice, amazing things took place. His point of view changed, and he started to appreciate the positive things in his life. It helped him get back on his feet. Being thankful doesn't just make you feel better. Being thankful makes you stronger, which changes how you act. It's difficult to feel down when you're positive and ready to do your best. When you think about the good things in your life, the amazing thing is you will find more things to be thankful for as you practice it. Now, how can you make being thankful a daily habit? Start with an effortless action. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning and every night. It's not about big or interesting things, but about little things that make you smile, feel better, or remember the good things in life. This habit trains your mind to think of beneficial things over time. Communicating your gratitude to others is another way to show thanks. Show them how much you care by writing a thank you card or complimenting them, or simply express gratitude. Expressing gratitude strengthens relationships. It spreads happiness and makes people feel good. But being thankful doesn't mean ignoring problems. Saying everything is fine when it's not, admitting that life can be hard, is okay. But there's always something positive to be thankful for, even when things look the worst. Being thankful doesn't mean ignoring the truth. It means deciding to see the good in the bad. Being thankful for what we have makes it enough. It shifts our perspective from one of scarcity to abundance, and this transformation extends beyond our emotional state. Being thankful changes your life. As you go about your day, look for ways to be thankful. Take notice of the beautiful things around you, the kind people, and your growth. Stop and ask yourself, what can I be thankful for right now when you're upset or stressed? Because being grateful is an action, not just an emotion. Choose today to be grateful every day. Being thankful changes more than your mood, so practice it. I want you to take a moment to think about how you change your whole world. Imagine using these ideas every day, not just once a week. Consider how things might change, not just for a month, but for an entire year. That would happen in your life, because these aren't just rules, they're tools. If you use them regularly, the tools can help you build the life you've always wanted. However, it's important to understand that mastering these concepts is not sufficient. They're just words on a page or thoughts in your head until you use them. What matters is action, not a one-time event, but steady action on purpose. This is the last thing I want to say. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It's for people who work hard, try, fail, and get back up again. It involves individuals who are willing to invest in themselves to overcome challenges and persevere. What are you going to do with this moment, this year, this life? Will you accept it as it is, or will you transform these ideas into your own? You get to decide, because in the end, it's up to you. The things you do or don't do determine the kind of life you live. Remember that you already